Hello everyone, Bart here, and welcome to a new movie review. Well, once again we have another Equestria Girls movie to review, and based on what I've seen so far, you might be actually surprised on what I think of this one. It is the latest in the spin-off movie series, which is called Legend of Everfree. The students of Canterlot High are going on a one-week trip to Camp Everfree, where sibling camp counselors Gloriosa Daisy and Timber Spruce plan to have the best week of camp ever. But fun at camp cuts short when the dock becomes damaged, yet after being told from Gloriosa about leaving a gift for future campers, the main six and Sunset Shimmer decide to build a new dock as their gift. And one night during a campfire, Timber tells the story of Gaia Everfree, an evil spirit of the forest surrounding the camp, who warned Timber and Gloriosa's grandparents not to trespass in her forest, as she allows the two to build the camp. Yet after the story's told, strange things happen at Camp Everfree, as magical occurrences happen, and the campers suspect it's Gaia's doing. Yet Twilight Sparkle feels she's to blame, for the presence of Midnight Sparkle is still within her, trying to break out. All the while, the remaining five discover something unique at camp, and Sunset is trying to figure out what's going on between Gloriosa and Timber getting into feuds. Now, before I go into my thoughts on this film, let's recap. Equestria Girls? Okay. Rainbow Rocks? Awful. Friendship Games? Boring. And with Legend of Everfree? I actually happen to enjoy it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's actually kind of decent. Though not by a long shot. Firstly, the story itself feels predictable. And I mean in that Twilight thinks she's to blame for causing all the magical stuff to happen when really she hasn't done anything yet. And the story keeps on putting twist after twist of showing who's really doing this. Yet the magical dust being shown is quite clearly not from Twilight, since it's a different color. Also, there's an ending similar to the first film and Friendship Games thrown in as well, even though the movie acknowledges them and Rainbow Rocks before the ending begins. But one of the biggest things that was missing is that there's no scenes in Equestria, and no shot of a pony in the film anywhere. In the first film, it was bookended with scenes at the Crystal Empire, and they're paced fairly well with what they offer. In the second film, it's only one scene in Twilight's castle, and it's pretty much the only good thing in it aside from the songs. In the third film, there's only quick glimpses at Equestria and only one or two ponies are shown. But here, there isn't any. With every film being out, the pony's appearance becomes less and less present. And yeah, there are reasons why it's like this, for that the real Twilight is always busy, or being that the films are trying to be their own thing. But it's hard to make it like that when both the spin-offs and shows are connected. If it wants to be its own thing, then leave out the scenes in Equestria and its magic, because it's better to have it be half and half than just having one. But do they hurt the film in any way? Not really, because there are a few fine things with it. Despite having a formulaic ending, the setting of the movie is a welcome change. Placing it in a camp allowed for more things for the characters to do, as well as being away from the school, which the film also acknowledges. But the downside to that is the characters don't do a lot during their stay. Most of it has them building a new dock, and on occasion they do camp activities like rock climbing and telling scary stories and roasting marshmallows by a campfire. But that's really it. I mean, come on, couldn't you have them go canoeing, swimming in the lake, making arts and crafts, go on a nature hike, play a ball game or something? It would have made the film a little more better if they did more stuff at camp. The songs themselves are pretty much okay. They have good beats to them, yet the lyrics are often forgettable from time to time. And there is a certain formula that all the songs from these spin-offs share. Like there's always a lamette from Twilight stating her problems, there's always a song from the remaining five that encourages everyone to do right, and there's always a villain song. But that's the way it goes and how I notice. That and the opening song reminds me of Apples to the Core from the show, which has a similar vibe and feel, and one I get mixed up with. The characters are good too. The relationships between them are satisfying, and there's very little blaming going on between them, and there's no breaking of friendships either. And some of the jokes with them are pretty nice, including a running gag involving Rarity wanting to use the dock as a fashion runway. And the relationship between Twilight and Timber is cute and fun to watch, even if Flash Sentry misses the other Twilight. Yet somehow he and Sunset used to date, which was never brought up and came out of nowhere. And the actors voicing their characters have done a nice job. Tara Strong voices Twilight Sparkle, Aisling Ball voices Rainbow Dash and Applejack, Andrea Libman voices Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, Rebecca Chochette voices Sunset Shimmer and the singing voice of Twilight Sparkle, Tabitha St. Germain voices Rarity and Vice Principal Luna, Kathy Westluck voices Spike, Nicole Oliver voices Principal Celestia, And Ray Adams voices Gloriosa Daisy. Brian Doe voices Timber Spruce. Brian Drummond voices Filthy Rich. And Vincent Tawn voices Flash Century. As a whole, this movie is fine. The characters are good, the story is alright, the animation is pretty good, and the songs are okay. Director Ishii Rudell has done a nice job of making a decent Equestria Girls movie that I wasn't expecting to like from a spin-off series that I originally thought had a pretty weak concept. But since I got over it, and after viewing all these movies, I would say that this one would be my favorite. Though while I could have expected a lot more given the setting and the story being predictable, it's still passable for not having to go mean-spirited or at the very least be boring. So overall, it's one fine spin-off movie that I wouldn't mind watching again. So today, this movie we get a rating of 2.5+ stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Tune in next week for a new video, and in a few months, we'll be having this film out. And I can't wait for it. Hello everyone, Simon Bard here, and welcome to a new movie review. That's too quick. And with Legend of Everfree, I actually happen to enjoy it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's actually kind of decent. Though not by a long shot.